What up, Mr. Baklava? We haven't seen you in a while. It's great to see that smile. Your hair looks wonderful. Let me push this chair up under you. The weather's beautiful. You must have brought the sun with you. You're getting slimmer and you're tanner, huh? And you're speaking perfect Spanish. Must have spent some time in Panama. I gotta tell you that you're absolutely glowing. All that fishing and relaxing that you're doing, it's showing. I might take up rowing. Lay low until it's snowing. Then pop up looking Samoan. Man.
Wait, dude. Where am I gonna put my bike?
You can put your bike in front of the car. Look at all this room right here. You're going to be blessed by sitting your bike next to this Hemi right here. This stuff right here is absolutely magnificent. You can get this sample right here at your local gas station for $2.75. Look at it. It has apples in it. Feels good to sit in this engine bay right here. To start this project, we have to be 100% realistic with ourselves and what we just got into. Of course, you guys see that this is a rolling chassis as I'm sitting in the engine bay. No transmission, no drivetrain at all whatsoever. This thing needs a lot of body work and a lot of stuff has to get done to this thing. No longer has a front end on it, so I have to source a brand new M3 front end. Well, brand new to me M3 front end. The rear quarter panels, those are pretty much shot. They were supposed to get a Le Mans style body kit, so we have to fix the work that was done on it originally. There's a lot of work that needs to get done on this car, but not any major fabrication work. The only fabrication work is in the rear end where the speakers actually mount to the chassis. That's the only type of modification that I have to do, and I have to cut from another car. In order for us to get into this project though, we are going to have to take a lot of this metal down to bare metal and put some self-etching primer on this thing so that we no longer have any rust. We're gonna have to neutralize it, kill all the rust, and then we're going to have a bare chassis that's ready to be painted. First things first that I have to do is start taking out all these little accessories, all the mechanical parts that were left in the car. Everything that was left with the car, aside from the rolling chassis, has to get taken out so we can start building upon this thing. You guys can see in this area right here that a lot of this stuff has been sitting out for a very long time. A lot of it does look good. Like I said before, this is only a 68,000 mile chassis, so it's in pretty good condition. This is the relay box right here. It no longer has any relays in it, fuses, anything like that. There's stuff that's just dangling right here like this. All this stuff has to get disconnected and taken out in order for us to paint the engine bay. The only things that we're going to be keeping in this engine bay for the time being is going to be the front subframe, the steering rack, the wheels, everything that connects to that, everything that helps us steer and actually be mobile. We're going to have to keep that in there because we're going to be pushing this thing in and out of the garage as time goes on. The main thing that I really want to do with this car is really bring it back to the factory look of how everything in this engine bay was actually a very deep blue color. I want to go with Laguna Seca blue on this car, so that's probably going to be the color that we're going to be painting the whole entire engine bay. This car actually has some really cool history. If you guys look right here, it has had a Dinan high flow throttle body on it, meaning this car might have points towards actually getting a real authentic Dinan badge put onto it. The chassis itself is really not in bad condition either. If you guys look right here, this is what I was talking about with the rust spots. There's not a lot of major rust spots on this car other than parts like this. And if we go on this side over here, this side has a little bit of surface rust. The most major point that I'm talking about with the rust is back here on the rear quarter panel. This is where the Le Mans style body kit got cut, and then they were trying to put this on. I don't know what happened, but the actual Le Mans style body kit is actually in the car right here. If we go to the back of the car right here, you guys could actually see who actually owned this car before I did, but this is where I was talking about it needs to get fabricated. Right here, I don't know what happened in this area. Something got cut out. Now I have to go through the trouble of cutting this whole part right here out of another E36 and basically fabricating and welding it right to the body right here. The whole chassis in this area might have to get cut out. And luckily, that's the only major part of this car that really has to get taken out of it and replaced with something else. Look at this little guy having fun in the car. With all that being said, let's go ahead and start disassembling this thing. This thing wasn't even connected to anything. This right here is just abnormal, just insane. Look at this thing right here. How does this even end up like this? This is the brake fluid reservoir, mind you. This is crazy. This is the full engine harness right here that attaches to the engine bay to the relay box. I'm just gonna throw this thing to the side for right now, just because we're gonna disconnect it right before we actually push this thing outside and start to get this thing washed down in here, get it sanded and stuff like that. I don't even know what this right here is for. The hell? Looks like it might be to a headlight. I don't know. See if I can get this. I put some PB blaster on it. I might need some more. Oh my God, the whole thing is moving. Oh. I'm gonna try it again. I might be going the wrong way. What? That doesn't work either. With this, we'll use some more. Break it loose. This thing is 20 years old, man. 30 years old almost. All those lines are original too. All of that PB blaster on there just for these little hard lines. I'm telling you, in my experience, hard lines, taking them off of hydraulic reservoirs and stuff like that are probably one of the worst things to take off. First of all, when you take them off, you probably can't even put them back after. And then once you do have them back on, you might strip the threads because you didn't put it on at the right angle. Sometimes you can't even see the angle of these things. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that PB blaster sitting on that hydraulic reservoir for just a little bit. I'm gonna add a couple of more squirts onto it. And then once it starts to loosen up a little bit, then we're gonna take it off, because that thing, as it sits right now, is not coming off. I might have to put some heat to it. I honestly don't know what happened with this door right here. What the hell? At least it still has a trim on it and a dent. All right, let's try to get this trunk open. Oh, at least it opens. Look at this. What the hell is this? It says BMW service card. What's in here? Hey man, out of every piece on this car, this would be in good condition. Just my luck. Not even anything in here. What the hell? What? What? Bro, they're supposed to have wrenches and stuff in here. We got a breaker bar. Hey, if we ever get a flat tire in our rolling chassis, at least we have a breaker bar. Oh, now it doesn't close. Oh, yes it does. Fuck the trunk. This is going to be a long process of getting everything out of this car, so I'm gonna skip to when I have everything out of the engine bay. I'll see you guys at that point and see what we got. The garage is in complete disarray right now. We got stuff everywhere. We got stuff on the Charger right now. There's stuff on top of the M3. But I wanted to go ahead and show you guys this body kit that was inside of the car. This is the Le Mans style M3 GTR body kit. It does not have all the pieces, but this would be a cool kit that we fit on the actual car. That's why it actually has the fender flares over there that's cut out into the quarter panel. That's why, because this giant fender right here is actually supposed to be right there. The door cards are actually in very good condition. Has a little bit of dust from the body kit in it, which most of the car had a lot of dust from this actual body kit, the primer that was on it. But if I want to keep these door cards right here and paint the gray part a different color just to give the inside a little bit of a contrast, I could use these ones because they are actually in perfect condition. For the past couple hours, I have been hitting this with some PB blaster just to get all these little fittings loose, because like I said, these things are very hard to come out once they've been dry rotted on there. So I'm gonna let this sit for a couple more hours. I'm gonna see how it is by the time it actually cures. Well, I call it a cure time just because of how long I have to wait, but hopefully these things are gonna loosen up by the time it's done. As for the interior and what I've got done, actually, it looks pretty good in here. The seats are not in here currently, same with the back, but if we actually go in here, which I'm gonna try to do, it's actually pretty nice in here. The dash is actually in very good condition. Steering wheel is in good condition. Look at the dash. The dash has no cracks. The carpet is in good condition, but I am going to change it out to a black carpet. Another thing that was done to this car in the past was the gas tank was relocated into the trunk. If we go over here on this side and we try to, Jesus Christ, headlight fail. There's a bunch of stuff back here right now. Like I just said, the garage is in complete disarray, but it no longer has a gas cap right there. You have to fill it up from inside of the trunk. It was a very clean job though. All the body work was good, but honestly, I don't know how I feel about that. And I don't know how I feel about this being right next to the battery. This is probably like one of the shittiest things to do also. I'm gonna get this thing to sit right in there again, the way it should, so that we have more of a chance to get some leverage on it. I do not want to cut that piece out either, because if I do, it's going to be hard to get new lines for this thing, because these lines go all the way to all 4 brakes, because this is the anti-lock braking system right here. So, and you also need that in California to also pass emissions. Crazy that a braking system make you not pass emissions, but that's the case out here. I might have to go on Chris Fix right quick. Dude, the back one just came off just like it was nothing. Just like nothing. Let me try to get this one now. Actually, I'm gonna try to put it right here instead. See how it goes. Put it right here, yeah. Yeah, that one looks like it's jammed in a little bit too. The threads look like it's pushed in. I'm gonna try to, let me get a little bit bigger of a wrench and take this one out. Oh, it worked. Just like that. I've been reading the forums and people were saying that 90s ABS is trash, and I never had a problem with it on my Mercedes, but it also was never a high horsepower car, so we're going to see this big one right here out of the way. This one, same size. Let's see. Oh, got it, perfect. Hit my hand a little bit. Oh, I broke it loose. Wait, I broke it loose. Oh, wait, I have to get it at that angle. Oh, yes, I broke it loose. Oh, I completely got it. Time to get this stuff out the way. Now we can finally go ahead and take this thing out. Oh, look at this thing right here. Just a big hunk of metal. Hopefully this thing is actually reusable. I don't know if I actually want to do the ABS delete on this car right here. I might end up keeping this, but a lot of people on the forums and on YouTube and across the internet in general do an ABS delete, because 90s ABS is actually kind of trash. I've never actually had an issue with ABS on any of my other 90s vehicles, but this one is going to have a lot more horsepower than any of the other cars that I've owned. So I guess I'll look at it. I'll look it up a little bit more. Oh my God, I almost dropped it. And actually, look at how dirty this part is right here. Just a bunch of sticks. Wait, let me see. What the hell, dude? Thing has grown a tree inside of it. So in order for us to actually take off the relay box right here, we're going to have to get in from the inside right here. So instead of actually taking that off right now, this part right here is going to take a long time to do. And I'm about to show you guys what that is right now. Look how close that is. But all right, let me get in this thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. What a beautiful interior this is. I actually got to take off this airbag sensor right here. Oh, get them all loose right quick. Where'd the nut go? Oh, just gonna put all the nuts right here. Now it's off. Man, what we can do is start taking all this off right here, just like that. It's kind of hard to get certain parts of it out because of the wiring. I also don't want to cut it. I don't want this stuff getting everywhere, so it is what it is. All right, got most of it. Trying to get it off of the actual, oh, it's all fully off. Wait. Finally got it all out. Just throw it out right here. Look at this. No more relay box. So this right here is pretty clean for what I needed. And then over there, that's going to have to stay right there. I'm just going to tape a lot of the wiring that's over there and all this little hard line that goes to the ABS sensor. But what I need to do, especially when I wash it, I'm probably going to end up brushing all this dirt out and just throwing it down here because I already have to sweep. I got this whole trim off of here too. All this little heat shielding that was on this part right here. I took the part that's down there also off, but I'm going to have to brush all this dirt off so when we actually come over here and wash the car and push it out into that area over there, we're going to be able to get everything from in there. Because first step, wash. Second step is going to be drying everything down. Then we're going to start sanding the whole engine bay. We're going to sand it a couple times, make sure there's all the high spots are down and all the low spots we're going to be filling them in. And then I have some self-etching primer that we're going to be using on this thing. This has been a pretty long day, and honestly, I've got a lot done on this car. It looks like just insane in here right now. I have to go ahead, clean all this stuff up. I have also been seeing a couple comments about this rear quarter panel right here. Yes, it does have surface rust on it, and it's exactly what I just said. Surface rust. There's no rust penetrating. This was bare metal at one point, and as you can see down here, nothing is wrong with this. It does not penetrate the surface at all, and all this could be fixed with just some primer, and then we go ahead and paint the inner fender well right here. And you guys could actually see right here where it was actually primered. All in all, it's not a bad job on the fender. What they did to it was, I don't know if I would call it jackassery, but you could tell it wasn't really a bad job. Everything got folded over. It looks like it was welded and then it was primered over. So that's a good thing. As for over here, all we need to do, sand the rust down right here and put a new fender on it. Body wise, I already inspected everything. Did my due diligence. I did everything I need to do to make sure this car is in tippity top shape. I even have a key for this thing. And the key was left right in the ignition right here. So this is a 20-year-old key, and it was actually sitting in the car for more than 20 years probably. And that is actually where I'm going to keep it, right in the ignition, so I don't actually lose that thing. I got to go ahead and get all this cleaned up now. You guys see that everything is all over the place. So now I got to go ahead, make sure this place is clean for the next video. When we go ahead, push this thing outside and get it washed, engine bay sanded down, primered and painted. Hope you guys like this video. Make sure you guys subscribe. Have a good day. I'll talk to you beautiful people later.